Comment 124 tells you to practice something a lot. That's a pretty tried and tested piece of advice in mathematics. Can I just point out in this video a couple of things? First of all, how do you know what to practice? Well, if you're keeping good track of your work, so for example on the spread outer grid, you should be noticing a collection of reds and greens and ambers cropping up. So if it was in row 1 of a spread outer grid and the topic was collecting like terms, and you have these numbers across here, and you were color coding them properly, then you'd do something like this. And then when it starts to go bad, because you're getting them wrong, then a run of reds such as that, especially recently, is an indication that you should be practicing that a lot. Now, it's much better to do spaced out practice rather than concentrated practice, but there is definitely a place for concentrated practice if something is on the ground. So for example, you could space it out but do 3 practices or 2 practices every time you come across a repetition of that topic. Now, so that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing I wanted to say is that when you are doing practice, make sure you choose a sensible spread across easy and difficult questions. If you just practice easy things all the time, easy instances all the time, you'll be very vulnerable to the examiner putting in a hard question. But also, don't always practice hard questions, and the only reason for that is because it's time consuming, and also because sometimes when you're always doing the hard things, you develop a bit of a mental block for the simple things. So that's comment 124. It's basically saying that I have identified something which you could do with a lot of extra practice on.